Welcome. Welcome to Watching with Styles. Man, it's been a long day with trying to get the locker in and trying to do this afterwards. What can I say? It is crazy, man. It's crazy how so much changes in a couple of days. It's crazy how perception is reality, and I'll go through it as we go through this film. I don't think I'm going to talk too much at the beginning, but it's very interesting. What's up, JD? And I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it now because the big word on the street is that we're getting a new offensive coordinator. And it's crazy how I see fans wanting a certain guy, to come back. And I'm a guy who's not going. I'm not big on giving coaches too many flowers on this level because you got to have players to perform. And the coach prior to the last guy, the one thing he did do was he brought in Will Levis and Wan'Dale Robinson. Other than that, I think there's more to the equation to his success with him being here. Because I did it early this year where I put up some tweets of people not very happy with the offense he was calling last year. I mean, I don't think too many people, if they really go back and think about it, the season ended well, but that was that Florida game. That was that UT Chattanooga game. That was that South Carolina game. That was that Mississippi State game. There was quite a few games wrapped up in there that had some people scratching their head. And it's amazing the romance that some people revisionist history are having with that prior guy. I'm not sure what happens, whoever we bring in, but sometimes it's like that girlfriend who you broke up with, and then you come back and try to get with them, then you realize, oh, why I broke up with him. Now the difference is we didn't break up with him, he broke up with us. So hopefully that's the difference. But I'm going to say this. And I'm a big stan of this guy. But Eddie Gran couldn't get Will Levis and Wan'Dale Robinson to come here. That wouldn't have happened with his perception of his style of play when he got here. But if he would have gotten Will Levis and Wan'Dale Robinson and had C-Rod at running back and ran his system that he ran in Cincinnati in 2012, I think we have more success than we had last year. That's my hot take. I feel like the weird thing about all these things that happens is that there's a lot of parallels, and it just hit me when we was on the locker an hour ago of how we could have easily been 9-3. Without a couple penalties, just 2 penalties. Without those 2 penalties, we'll win 2 games. And if Will Levis plays in Ole Miss and we win that game, he definitely plays the next week in South Carolina. So now, even with all this crap that people are whining and complaining about, everybody would be coming back if we went 9-3, possibly 10-2. Think about that for a second. For all the crap and BS and efficiency and success rate and blah, 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 blah. You don't get a legal procedure, a legal shift. You don't get hands to the face. And Will Levis plays against South Carolina at home. We could legitimately be 10-2. It's the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But there's 2 penalties that we definitely could have been 9-3. And with all that, with all the hubbub, with all the suspension for 4 games, with all the O-line playing out of position, this team could be 9-3. Not to say either call was erroneous. They were both justifiable calls. But that's crazy. AJ, do you think this decision was already made, or did the Vandy performance ultimately cost him? I'm going to say this, AJ. Honestly, the Vanderbilt game wasn't a game, to me, that cost him. Because we scored enough points on a... I'm a realist. I'm not making excuses. That wasn't a very weather-friendly game. And we put up and I don't care what you say. When C-Rod ran for 72 plus yards, I thought that was ball game. I thought it was ball game. JD, I agree. If it was made before that. And there was, I can't remember what game, there was a conversation that I saw a quote from Stoops says that something about the complexity and we need to simplify it or something in that vein. He didn't say exactly those words, but he did say something to that point. And I think he figured out that here's what I think Stoops figured out, and this is with the NFL. Because when I was in the Rams camp before the 2000 season, and that brought in Mike Martz, and we just talked about this with Locker. Mike Martz had no bend in him. It was either his way or the highway. There was no, let's morph this around. No, you're going to run my offense, period. No damn checks, no hot calls. Whatever I call, your ass is going to run it, period. Period. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Trent Green trying to make a check, and Mike Morris went ballistic. You call the damn play that I'll call, and you run it. Mikey, look, man, the defense let us down twice. And I don't like to say let us down because that's saying like they were the only reason we lost. But South Carolina and Vandy game are 2 defensive games. The South Carolina game, to me, is the worst one because you knew during the week that you was going to be without your starting quarterback. As a defensive player, you know right now they can't score. They just can't score. And when we gave up the touchdown after the trick play, but then we scored and we went into half 7-7 or wherever the score was half, we should have won that game. They didn't blow the brakes off us. They didn't do anything. They just beat us because we gave up too much shit, just like we did in the Vandy game. And I'm telling you, I don't care what anyone says. When C-Rod broke that damn thing for 70 plus yards to put us ahead, that's ball game. If you're the second best defense in the conference, that's ball game. You don't let Vandy offense march 80 yards on you. You do not. You do not. It makes no sense to me. No one can convince me that after C-Rod, if I had I'm an Astros fan. What's that guy, Money Mike, that bets on the Astros? He won $umpteen million off of better Astros. If I had his kind of money and I could prop bet right after that touchdown, I would have put $10 million that Vandy was not going to get past the 50. Mattress Mike. I would have bet $10 million that Vandy wouldn't get past midfield. For sure. Yes, JD, the furniture dude, my man. When you got that, think about it. You got enough money where you can put $10 million on an organization that you don't even have any affiliation with. That's crazy. So those two games to me got away from us because of defense. It's no way in hell Vanderbilt should have scored. I had Vanderbilt at 13 points. And for sure, JD, he had his story's a little crazy. It's nowhere in hell that I would have thought Vandy would score more points than Louisville scored on us. I had Vandy at 10 points. I had Louisville at 13 points, but I hit right on the money. No way Vandy scores 20-some points. There's no way you give up 100 yards to two backs from that team. No way. It's not even, you can't even put that on the parlay board. It's unacceptable. So with all the stuff that happened, we still should have went 9-3. And the reason why, for me, being on a team, and even though we were not winning when I played, there was a culture though. And Stoops has built a pretty damn good culture, because this season could have easily gone down the drain when Will Levis missed that South Carolina game, when we lost both our inside linebackers, when we didn't have C-Rod for the first 4 games. Like, this could have went bad, especially with some of these young kids, how they think. With this team being so young in certain areas, the way young kids think now, for us to still come out of this damn season with 7 wins is pretty damn remarkable. Now, I know me included had a much bigger aspiration at the beginning of the season. But like I said, when I said 10-2, it's based on being healthy. And when C-Rod went down, I don't see how anybody could say, it's going to be better. And I was down this hill. C-Rod played 8 games. He had 900 plus yards with this offensive line. This offensive line got better because C-Rod was back there. And I've said on this broadcast many times, C-Rod misses holes. He misses a lot of holes. But what he's going to do, he's still going to get positive yards. And we missed that. You can see that in this game and other games. It's kind of like Barry and Brown. Once one of those big linebackers or defensive linemen get their hands on Jatan and he's not parallel to the line of scrimmage, he's going to get tackled. That doesn't happen with C-Rod. So if C-Rod plays the first 4 games, I think this offense is a little different towards the end, because the offensive line gets a little confidence because now they're not being blamed for a lot of stuff. They're not going to get blamed for a lot of stuff. And so they're going to have a little more confidence because they're not getting blamed for a lot of stuff. You know, you can miss a block with C-Rod's running the ball because he's going to run through the guy that you missed. And if C-Rod plays those first 4 games, I don't think Will Levis gets hurt because he wouldn't be put in that position. There's a lot of things that went this year that went against the script, I guess, we all saw in our head. Craig B, but part of letting Skane go was the fear that he was losing some of the locker room and even some of the fans. All right. Craig B, why did you have to bring fans back in here? Best stat of C-Rod's career is that 25 carries for managed yards. That's crazy. That is crazy. I wonder how many of those carries were this year. I have a problem with with that. And this is my problem. And maybe because I'm not a fan. Because, you know, fan is short for that other word. If your program is down, you need money. If your program is up, you need money. No matter what part of the spectrum your program is at, you need money. And I hate it when people say, well, we're losing, I'm not going to buy season tickets. That's fine. But now how do you expect that program to improve? So now you're going to sit on the sideline, bitch, moan, and whine about the program, but then you're not trying to help the program. You cannot throw stones when you are not willing to block the stones. Because if you are a true fan of the football program, you give as you can give regardless. If that's a 25 cent, is that 10 million? The Kraft family gives regardless. The Nutter family, when I was there, gave regardless. But there's a lot of people who say, I'm not going to go to the game because they're not doing anything. It's a difference to me between being 2-10, which then I don't think you should go. But when you're 6-6, 7-5, 8-4, where you're on the cusp of potentially something special, you got to give. It's like people that complain about recruiting, but do we have enough NIL money now? Because from what I've heard, even with this new NIL deal, that's not booming like it should be. So for me, if you're going to be a fan, be a fan. And here's the deal. For me, if you're a fan who's a quiet fan, you just cheer Kentucky because you're from Paris, Kentucky, or wherever. You just love Kentucky. You're quiet. Yeah. They whatever. No problem with you. It's the vocal ones that I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about the ones who still go to games. Because I know fans personally that still go to games, have had season tickets, regardless if it's freaking Vandy in 40-degree weather, or if it's Florida in 100-degree weather, or if it's Georgia in December, or it doesn't matter. They're going to games. I'm talking about the ones who piss and moan about stuff and don't do anything about it. That's the part that I don't like. If we need money and you want your program to become successful, for a program that has no freaking tradition, our tradition goes all the way to the 50s into 2018 and beyond. It goes to the 50s. You got a blip in the 70s. And then you got 90s, not 90s, 2018 and until now. That's it. Well, Alabama went through some down? Yeah, but it's Alabama. I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand. And this will be the last thing. One of the things that the Kentucky fans can do, if you don't have the funds to invest in UK, invest in Little League football, invest in middle school football. That's where you need to put your money at. Bring up the feeder system. So then Coach Stoops and whoever the guy who has to follow him has a base. Has a base that is saturated with talent. Not just 3 or 4 guys. How about 20, 30 guys? I live in Louisiana. This is not a big state. We have this year 22 4-star athletes from the state of Louisiana, 22 four-star athletes. I don't think there's more than 13 star athletes in the state of Kentucky. It makes a difference. You're asking a coaching staff, you're asking a program to fund an enormous amount of funds to go recruit and resources to get them to XYZ state and hope that you can steal them from the state school that's in that state. Think about that. Is that you got to go to Ohio that has Ohio State. You got to go to Tennessee that has Tennessee and University of Memphis. You got to go to Alabama, Georgia, all these other states to try to grab somebody from there, because you only can get 3 to 4 guys from where you're at. That's hard to do that. And for us to be where we at says a lot. And I think it was, who said this? I got to find it. There's a tweet of a coach, Mike McDaniels, explaining how you need to recruit, you need to get guys in the NFL, per se, that fits your culture and your scheme and what you want all of your football team. I think people are starting to get a little bit too wound up in these damn stars, in these damn rankings. Because before 2018, we were not getting into the top 15. We have a couple classes, and now all of a sudden we're expecting top 15, top 20 every year. We won because we was able to coach and teach and develop. Coach, teach, develop. You can still do that. And if you have the portal, you can still coach, teach, and develop. That's so much more important in some aspects in my head than trying to go out for people who are not coming here. Exactly, JD. And that's what I got, a pinned tweet that says that our calling card was able to identify talent at an early age, infiltrate that family, get with them early. How many times have you heard, well, they came to me first. They was the first big school to offer me, to see my potential. It makes a difference. You got to be able to identify a kid that might not be Keontae Goodwin right now, who's obviously going to be a real big player, but you might see something in him as a freshman. He's got good feet. He's smart. His hand placement is great. He seems like his processor is good as a quarterback. He gets the ball in his hand quickly because he can read the defense. Do that. Continue to do that. And here's the thing that bothers me. Everybody get enamored by these 4-star, because there's not that many 5-star guys in the country. 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. Here's the part that gets me. There is not that much difference between a high 3-star and a low 4-star. Maybe that kid didn't go to a combine. Maybe that kid didn't go to enough combines. Maybe this kid plays basketball and it takes up his time, so he can't go to a combine. Maybe this kid plays 3 sports, which doesn't happen that much often now. But when I play, we played 3 sports. Maybe there's a reason why he's not a 4-star that's beyond his control. But when he gets on your campus, because you have invested in seeing how well you go to his basketball games, you go to his practice, you see the little things that other guys don't see because you are there. And now you find a guy who's a high 3-star and you develop him into a all SEC guy. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. A 4-star definitely makes it easier because this floor is definitely higher. But sometimes it takes more than that. Craig B, you look, here's the deal, Craig. That's a great, Craig, I hope you're on YouTube. Craig said NIL and the portal reduced that development mantra some. Saw an article today that says 7% of 4 and 5-star quarterback from 2017 to 2019 class transfer at least once. that's a quarterback. You only got one of them. And some of these kids, especially nowadays with the Instagram and the TikToks and what's the other one? Whatever the other one is, I can't think of it. Kids are more enamored by the brand. So there are some kids, when you see Bryce Young go to Alabama, he's in the same class as you. Then you got another 5-star go to Alabama with him. You got 2 5-star quarterbacks and you, who is a high 4-star quarterback, going to Alabama at the same time when Bryce Young has to wait after Mac Jones, so you're not going to play as a freshman. So now you are a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, and now there's a battle between you and 2 other guys, and he wins. He's in the same class as you. What is your chance of actually getting playing time? But you can say, I've seen kids do it. You can say, oh, I still played at Alabama though. I played at Alabama. Now I'm going to transfer. Why not go to the school that best fits your ability before wasting your year and a half at Alabama? Why not go to Memphis? Why not go to Coastal Carolina? Why not go to Liberty? Why not go to Tulane? Sometimes you have to humble yourself. And I'm going to say this. It's weird to say this, but I know it's true because I've seen it with my own 2 eyes twice. I know this person who played basketball could have went to a mid-major, so to speak, but wanted to go to an SEC school. And that kid did not play at all at that SEC school because this kid wasn't good enough to play at the SEC school. Because once you're on campus, they recruit somebody every year to come under you. And it wasn't a football player. So now every year they recruit another class. And you get lost in the shuffle. But if this person would have went to a smaller school, they would have started every year and been a straight baller. Dylan said, I think A&M is a cautionary tale NIL. It is. You gotta find. That's what we have done so well, man. If we have found guys who want to be at Kentucky, and I don't know what magic sauce Coach Stoops has, but it has been proven year in and year out that these guys want to play for him. I'll never forget Jared Casey last year at Iowa. He was leaving. And he still wanted to play that last game. That says a lot. All right, let's get into this film because I can talk forever. All right, come out of half. We let them score to give them some momentum. There is no better way than to start your first play with this. There is nothing like a team has a game plan. Katie McDaniels played. When a team has a game plan and you just beat their ass. This is a 4-man rush and that's it. Now, I'm going to show you from here. This kid, I've been saying this a lot. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about my man Anwar Stewart. There's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. This guy has so much natural talent, right? You can't coach his size. You can't coach his athletic ability, but this is what you can coach. He didn't do this at the beginning of the year. Watch his hand placement. Watch that left hand go straight. Watch that left hand go straight to that offensive tackle right wrist. And he's ball game. When you're able, I know a lot of times I've seen defensive linemen hit that elbow. Because once you hit that elbow, that's ball game. He got him on the wrist, and now he's the driver of the car. Because now that offensive tackle lost all his leverage. See that? Look at the hand placement. That is a technique that has to be coached. He didn't come into the year doing that. That's a coaching technique. And now that allows him to use his athletic ability and close and finish. That's stupid. Look how big that. This gives you an idea of how big that kid. Look, he just took out. You can't see Weaver in that wide receiver anymore. And then he closes. The kid is going to be a freak. Now here is the part that gets me. That kid from perception, Kentucky is still Kentucky. You would think that when the big dogs come barking, that he's going to go to the fence. He's going to go to the fence and see what they're barking about. But apparently, he is committed. That says a lot about the culture. Like I said before, I don't agree with everything that the culture is, but I'm also almost 50. But I can understand what the culture is. And when you get all your players to buy in, and when you can have a culture where the players lead the culture and coaches are not trying to force themselves on, it's a difference. Craig B said, did we lose me? Did I get the old what's that thing where they copyright deal? I hope not. So now we 2nd and 9. The first series is so important. Let me show you something that is so coaching. This Childress kid came in the first couple games. It was hit or miss. It was weird. He wasn't quite ready. But man, the more he played, the better he is. Now here's the thing at safety. You don't naturally have a gap to fit. I can't tell that safety you got C gap. I can't tell that safety you got B gap. You got D gap. Or you got A gap. I can't tell him. He's got to find his fit off of what happens in front. Now here's the part though. I guarantee you this kid is lying at least 10 yards deep, probably more like 12. Watch how fast he comes down, okay? He comes down so fast where number 9 can't crack. He can't crack him. All right, now here's the better deal. This defensive lineman is starting to get washed. Childress thinks he's going to be able to fit here, but he can't. He realized in full stride, let me veer to here. And is the tackle pretty? No. But who grades tackle prettiness? It's all about getting them on the ground. Because if Childress doesn't adjust and dip his nose inside, look how much space is there. He's going to just run away from Lovett. Key. Look at that. That can get ugly. 2nd and 19, they only get 4 or 5 yards. That's big. So now we get them in 3rd and long. We still can't run a twist to perfection, but it's just sloppy. To me, it's just not smooth. We still get there. We're only rushing 4. I want people to understand. When you rush 4, you can either get 4 underneath zones, 4 to 6 covered, or you can get 5 of the 6. But if you get 4 of the 6, you're gonna play 3 deep with 3 high. You're gonna have two high safety with a corner, or you're gonna play 2 high safeties. You're gonna have 5 guys underneath, so only 1 zone is open. So there's nobody open. Watch this tackle. Bam! Dude, that is tackling in the phone booth. Now, yesterday, we had the tackle by Trevin Wallace. Whoever is this inside linebacker coach, which we know who it is. We know who the inside linebacker coach is. All but one DB are willing. Who's the one DB that's not a willing tackler? You talking Valentine? Because if he's your worst tackler, that's pretty good. Watch Derrick Jackson, D-Jack, still keep going forward. See how his feet keeps going forward? See how he never settles? Forward, 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 closing the gap. Dude, that is textbook. You cannot, now, I shouldn't say textbook, because he could have brought his feet a little more. See how his feet are right here? It'd been nice if his feet were under him. But dude, that is a great tackle in space. Malik Cunningham could have went anywhere. Here's the other thing. I don't know if you guys saw the Georgia game last year, how it is a two-man tackle. See, this is not a one-man tackle. With Andrew Phillips going for the outside shoulder, he knows he's got a brother coming from the inside shoulder. You don't want him going this way, because now D-Jack's got to run an extra 15 yards to get to the sideline. It doesn't seem like it, right? Every time I say this, people are amazed. But I'm going to say it again. From the top of the numbers to the sideline is 9 yards. That's another at least 6 where D-Jack is. If he had to run another 15 yards, Malik Cunningham will outrun him. So this tackle, this is what I try to explain to people. Everybody's going to miss tackles. This is not high school. You're not the best guy on the field anymore. But if you're going to miss the tackle, miss it the right way. Same like when you play golf. If you're any golfers, if you hitting, let's say a 6-iron into the green, you want to miss it to the best side so you can get a good putt. Sometimes you can't aim at the flag. Sometimes you better aim a little bit right at the flag just in case you might hook that joke a little bit, and at least you got a chance to be on the right side of the pin. Same thing here. Drew Phillips turned them back in. And that's why D-Jack was able to make that tackle. See that? Andrew Phillips missed the tackle. But he missed the tackle the right way. Well, AJ, if you play enough. And if you play enough and you know your type of shot, you can play. Now, if you play Army golf, you hit right and left, then yeah, you're in trouble. But if you either have a fade or even if you slice it, at least you know you slice it every time. You can play off of that. That's great ass tackle. So yes, AJ, you can control your shot. It don't matter how bad your shot is, as long as it's consistently bad. So now we get offense, good field position. It's time to take their will. And this is the offensive line started to block a little bit better in the second half. Ain't nothing wrong with 5 yards. I don't know. I'm not gonna. We're just gonna go. This is one where Will has to be patient. This is one where I'm normally a guy where I've said it many times, you got to climb the pocket. This is one where you know that all these linebackers from Louisville's going to have to respect that zone read play. You know your tight end is going to come open. We have ran it 2 to 3 times already. If he's patient, all he's got to do is drift a little that way. This is a big play because there's nobody there. He throws it too quickly. See that? He's been drawn here. He is on top of those guys. If he waits, he can throw that thing about right there, and there's nobody there. You got to understand all facets of the play. You know you got that. You know from jump. And here's the bad part about it. Let me go back to that. All right. Here's the bad part about it. You're in the shotgun. You are looking down the barrel right here. You're looking at him. He's starting to come down. You know right now, I got him. You know right now as a quarterback, he is dead. Okay? Because he's coming up. He's coming this way. And my guy is going that way. He's beat. Buy him a little time. He got hit. Buy him a little time. Because that's not a penalty because the ball's not thrown when you push him. If he buy a little time and wait 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, he is here. Caddis is there, and he would have been separating. Now, it doesn't matter because we got a big play here. And I'm going to tell you, this is the perfect call. And Louisville tried to combat it with playing in and out on these two receivers. They cross-read these two receivers. First one inside, he got some. First one outside, he has them. So, in theory, if they stay matched up, watch the route. Dingle would rub him on his way going to the field. Watch. If they didn't cross-read, Dingle would have rubbed him. See how he's running at him? And then we run the whip route, and then we got him. Now, here's the great part about it. Now, I don't know if they game planned it and they knew they had the potential of doing this, right? Of playing in and out on these two guys. If they knew, it makes this route even more impressive. Because now if you know they're going to play in and out, you run the whip route because you know he's going to have inside leverage. So now you know on this route, he's beat because he's going to stay inside, and now you just got automatic leverage. You got so much leverage because he's covering your inside receiver. So he's naturally 5 yards away from you. So all you do, you threaten his inside shoulder to make him wide more, and then you just run away from him. That's perfection. Now, here's the bad part about it from a DB standpoint. This is now clinic time. If you're a DB, if you are this guy and you're playing man, you never take your eyes off the receiver until you know without a shadow of a doubt that you got this. And you don't look at the quarterback until you, my rule is you got to drive, this is my personal rule. I got to drive 2 to 3 steps on the route before I can turn my head. All right. And one reason because like for this one, and like what happened to Valentine, you lose the receiver. You don't know where he's going. A good receiver, and Barry Brown did it to a point, a good receiver will attack the ball, and you are going this way, and then you just created natural separation just because your eye discipline is bad. You got to drive the route for 2 steps. And then when you drive the route for 2 steps, you go through his midline first. If the ball's not thrown, you are close enough. Now you can go under and potentially pick it off. You get what I'm saying? Because at least if you go through the midline in college, If he does this, you can hit his ass and get back into play. Or if you miss, at least you have that left hand around the body. You can try to strip the ball with the right. But since that guy did not, right here, he's off top looking at the quarterback. Why? Okay? And this is why. This is how you win. This is winning football. Let me tell you why you don't do it. Because it's 3rd and 5. You want to get off the field. See, some players are so selfish and so into just doing me, trying to make plays. It's 3rd and 5. This might not be the chance to take a chance. This is a time to play sound defense and get off the downfield. Because your big defensive linemen are tired. Get off the field. So this is just bad eye discipline. That's bad technique. And it cost them big. That's an extra 20 yards that shouldn't have happened because of your bad eye discipline. We gotta block that guy. He just squeezed, got sideways, threw for no reason. That disrupted the whole play. I don't know if you guys noticed that we ran a lot of 12 personnel. 12 personnel, that I'm going to just go old school. The first number is a number of running backs. The second number is a number of tight ends. So then 12, 5 linemen, that's 8. Quarterbacks 10, that means you only got 2 wide receivers. So when you go 12, you only got 2 wide receivers. If you go 11, you got 3, and on and on. We ran a lot of 12, ran a lot of 13 personnel with 3 tight ends because we want to just pound their ass. And we ran a lot of split zone. This is a split zone. Cross, then he comes here. A lot of split zone. And we ran it for success. Look right here. This is how much better this O-line has gotten this year. And they can't block. They're not great at blocking everything. But they're getting better. Just want to show you. Hat on a hat. Hat, 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 hat. We're about to get a hat. And he's about to climb. That's pretty damn good. In the SEC, this guy's got to make one guy miss. That's just how the game rolls. Great run. I'm liking Caddis too. Now I showed this in the cut up. It's also advantageous when they slant to the pin. We're pinning, and they slant to that side. Makes it a lot easier. But you still got to execute. Look at the bodies. And that's a great read by Jatan. And this is the thing about this play, right? This is why, to me, the zone, split zone, wide zone, inside zone is so good. Because the hole is not dictated to him. He can go all the way front side. Or he can cut it right back up, backside. That's a great read. And you can see, watch the eyes. Watch his eyes. The great thing about this play is you can tell right now where I'm going. You see them slanting. And now you know backside is wide open. Look at his eyes. He's like, yeah, buddy, right there. He never looked out here because he knew where it was. It's not that Dingle is a terrible blocker. He's just not a good blocker. And honestly, when it's timed up like this, it's not like he drove the guy. The timing is so perfect. All he had to do was hit him, boom. and that's ball game. He didn't have to stay on the block. But yes, he did block that decently. Now here's the problem with this play. All game, when we motion, and then we fake the zone read, these guys will fly. It was a well-timed play. That timing is also on Will. That timing is also on Dingle. Not taking a bad step. Sometimes it's kind of crazy if you really pay attention. Like this Caddis. That left foot, let's say he's doing the split zone. And there's not enough weight on that left foot, and he picks it up, puts it back down. That timing can get off, and then that guy can get a little penetration and blow up the play. So it's also on these guys to execute their fundamentals well. I don't know what happened to Bates, but Bates did get hurt. I'm going to say this about Bates too. Here's the bad part about being a college athlete. Is injuries can give a guy an opportunity to show he's better than you. It's really that simple. Sometimes the starter is the starter because he's gotten all the reps. Because he's the next guy up. Sometimes there's a guy like a freshman or a portal guy or something happen and that guy gets a chance and you never get your spot back. And that's what happened to Caddis. That's probably what happened to Cummings. That's what happened to Upshaw. And Anthony and I have said this, I've said this many times on the locker. Once a freshman jumps you on the depth chart, your career is pretty much over if you're an upperclassman. Once a freshman leapfrogs you on the depth chart, your ball game, unless he gets hurt. Because now, let's think about this from a coach's standpoint. If you're a junior, I already know what you can do. I already know your warts. I already know your pros. I already know who you are. I know where your ceiling is. I know where your floor is. If you get a freshman that jumps you, that freshman's floor is pretty damn high. You have no idea what his ceiling will be. Now I, as a coach, want to know. I want to find out what this kid's ceiling is. So if he's as good as you, I'm going to probably play him more because he's got more potential. Because I've had you for 2 to 3 years. If you're a redshirt junior, I've had you for 4 years. I know who you are. And if this guy floor is just as high as yours, it's going to be hard. It's not impossible. It's going to be hard. And I think that's what's happened to Upshaw and Cummings. And the thing about it, the great thing about Stoops is he's still putting them out on the field. When there's some coaches who would have been like, bye-bye. Time for you to hit the portal. On this play, we motion Barry Brown. And what happens is he doesn't go with Barry Brown. They actually have pretty good eyes and they read the running back and they stay at home. So there's nothing there. That's a defensive win. You got to tip your hats to them. Those guys on scholarship too. That was a damn. This is when, and I don't know if he was outside. It looks close, but I don't think he is. This is when they make the perfect call for what you want. Now, this is what I'm going to say. And this is my problem with C-Rod. Because like JD said earlier, he has whatever, 200 plus carries, only 65 negative yards. So you can never question his heart and will to at least get as much as he can. But this is when, for me, you have to learn a game of football. And this is getting nitpicky, but this is what I do. Just to show what could be if you think the game. All right. So this is the thinking of the game. I know right now, because it goes beyond just a quarterback. I had to fill in a running back a little bit in high school. Our running back got hurt, so I had to move from quarterback to running back for sometimes. Or if he got hurt in the game, I might have to, or he got winded. Sometimes he carried about 30 times. If he's got to come out, the backup running back is me. So sometimes I had to play running back. All right, running back. You look at the format, and maybe this is because I play quarterback. Maybe all running backs don't do this. I don't know. But if I'm running back, they're playing man. All right. Know what happens in man? Normally, it's very difficult for them to form edges. If you know what edges are, forming a wall for the running back not to be able to bounce it outside. Because think about this for a second. If he bounces it outside, just hear me out, and they run all clear routes. They clear it out. They run 100 miles an hour down the field. So those defenders are gone. All you got is these guys in the box. That's all that's left. Because he's gone too if he runs them off. Okay? So now, I explained that. So now, you got to have an edge defender. The edge defender is probably this guy and probably this guy. All right? Just watch. If I know right now, that's the great part about being deep in the backfield. I know right now, this ain't right. He comes A gap, I got nothing. All right? And I'm fucking C-Rod. I know right now that most linebackers going to have a problem tackling me, especially Louisville's lighting the ass linebackers. All right. Now, you know right now, A-gap is gone. A-gap is gone. We got this side sealed off pretty damn well. You got one guy, and they're running the screen, so he's gone. Just riddle me this. If he bounce it outside right now, Horsey, no, that's Horsey. I think that's two guys are mauling this guy. I think that's Caddis. He's mauling that guy. All these guys right here are taken care of. You got one guy. Watch if you bounce it outside. You got one guy. That's the only guy. Instead of trying to stick it right down that A gap, what if he went in here and then raced him, put a stiff arm, or run through him? That's all I'm getting at. So that's weird. That, like, I've said stuff about Will with the O-line. I said that Will can make his teammates better by stepping up in the pocket by being decisive in his reads. It's not that Will is not doing his job, but when you are the best player on the team, you got to go above and beyond. Like on that play, C-Rod knows his man on the outside. He sees the front. He sees what happens right away. That A gap ain't there. If I bounce it, all I got to do is be one person, especially when you see the right side of your offensive line just annihilate the left defensive line, left side of the defensive line for Louisville. Now, this bothered me when I heard quite a few people say this. Why are we throwing a slot fade to Lewis? First, two things. First of all, Lewis mistimed his jump. He jumps way too early. See, he's jumping, and now he's starting to come down. If he would have waited another half a second, he makes this catch. Second of all, as a coach, I don't tell him where to throw. Okay? My route combinations are my route combinations. He didn't have to throw to this side if he didn't want to. He could have thrown a dang key one-on-one on the backside. So, Scangarello, Liam Cohen, Eddie Grand don't call a play that says 19 slot fade. Whatever the call is whatever it is. And now it's up to him to read the defense and the advantage and throw it there. Now, the advantage, knowing what this route is, it is the slot fade because you got 20 yards to throw it. So there's two things wrong with this. Now, the other thing is you got guys on the sideline that checks themselves out. Coach, I'm tired. Putting this up. He happens to be the down next guy on in this formation. It's just like when people say, why we're not getting the ball to C-Rod? C-Rod taps his helmet and Jatan goes in the game. It ain't the coach saying, go in there, Jatan, this is your running play. It's when you get tired, you come out. So this play isn't Lewis's play. This is a play for that position player. He just happens to be in the game. If Will throws this ball and use all of the advantage and he throws it right there instead of right here, Lewis is able to use the advantage of all of this area. We didn't eat all the chicken wing. We left a lot of meat on that bone. We left about 12 yards of meat on the bone. Because this is a hard route for a corner. Look at it. He's off the ball. He's off of him. If he throws that ball and lets Lewis keep running away from him, look at the gap. If he allows Lewis to keep running away from him instead of now running to him, there's a shot. There's a better shot. But that's not Scangarello calling a down play for Lewis. That's a play called for that receiver. Lewis happened to be in the game at that time to run the route. Oh, I want to show, because I showed this in the cut-ups, but in the cut-ups, I only have 140 seconds. So I can't say everything I want to say. I just want y'all to look. This kid, man, I was not high on him early. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, not quite there yet. I want you to see him annihilate this down crack block. He fucking depletes him. Now in the cut up, I praise Key because he does do a good job of field replacement in his textbook technique. But I want in fast motion for you to see Childress just knock the hell out of this kid. Watch it. Same foot, same shoulder. Look at that. Yow. That's, you know what? I think I've told this story about Frank Sanders. That's how you prove a point. I guarantee you the next guy that comes to try to crack Childress is going to come at him a different way. This is what Melvin Johnson used to do. First play. Yow! Dude, that's... I'm going to say this again. See, I've said this. No, don't crap out on me. I've said this many times. I played with Melvin Johnson. You can get friendly fire from him because when he was coming, he was hitting anything in his way. It didn't matter if he wore a blue jersey or the opponent's jersey. When he came downhill, he was hitting something. Or was it? He was making contact with something and somebody all the time. And the great thing about him is when we had crack blocks, right? If somebody was cracking, they had to declare quickly because Melvin was coming. So as a corner, you knew right now that I could fill that gap because he was coming so hard that it was never where they can kind of fake it, where they can come and kind of pitter patter and then go up. He was coming so hard, if they were really going to block him, they had to go hard too, which then made your job easier. And that's what made Key job easier here to come fill his hole. That's a great ass play right there, man. I want people to understand is I think I was able to explain this enough. Quarterbacks only read one side of the field. This is not on Malik Cunningham. This is a great play by Trevor Wallace and great coaching. Because his job as a quarterback is simple. His job is to read this guy. They're going to run a flare route with a curl behind it. It's real simple. This is one of the simplest reads. Goes back to Little League football. It's simple. If he stays in the curl, you throw it here. If he expands with the flare, you throw it here. You're reading one guy. One guy only. He never sees this guy. He's never even in his thought process. Just watch. He's looking to his left. He's reading this all day. Watch how far Trevor Wallace comes. He comes from, it's about, I can't remember exactly. It's at least 17 yards from hash to hash. Look how far he goes. He's reading Phillips. Phillips expanded a little bit. He's going to throw it right behind him and had a chance. He never sees Wallace. Dude, Wallace went from hash to hash. Most linebackers can't do that. He went from hash to hash on a timing route. This is only like a 10-yard hitch or curl. It's not like a deep route. He may look so easy that you think it's anybody can do that. It's not true. See that? He's got a chance to get it inside of Phillips. Here's the thing, AJ. as a quarterback, any kind, you're right. As a quarterback, you hate throwing flare routes. That's the last thing you want to throw. You want to throw it if he got any little, because if he's not here, he's going to run away from Phillips. Look where the ball is thrown. The ball is really thrown to be completed about right in here. Phillips has no chance because they're on the hash together. And he's running away from Phillips. But watch. That's Trevor Wallace. Watch Cunningham's eyes. He is all day on Phillips. All day. Because that's his read. He never would imagine that the guy over the ball, think about it, the guy over the ball is going to get all the way over here. He makes, look, here's the other thing that I love. And this is big on eye discipline. He's got a drop, right? But he doesn't go look at his drop, head back, look at his drop, head back. Watch his eyes the whole time. Watch it. Watch it. He just feels the route. He never looks at the receiver. All he does is he's looking at the quarterback's eyes the whole time. Quarterback's going to take you there in good hands. Ball game. That play is so underrated. I don't think people understand how great of a play that was. For an inside 3-4 linebacker to make an interception on the opposite hash, he had not one false step. He had not one bad step. Everything about that play was 100%. Lake Dog, stop, Lake Dog. Stop, Lake Dog. Don't get on my corners. Let me get on my corners. That guy, that is textbook play. If that is a clinical, show it to high school, show it to Little League, this is how you read the quarterback's eyes. This is how you don't take false steps. This is how you make plays. That was awesome, man. Unbelievable. Look how much penetration we got. Look at Horsey's pin down. Look at that. This is pretty. Look at that. Watch them drive them. Watch these two guys just mollywop them two linebackers. Just watch. Watch Manny kick out. And honestly, this is not a bad block by Barry and Brown. But look at it. Look at it. Yow. C-Rod is not touched until he's 5 yards down the field. Look at the just look at the space. Now, I'm gonna say something over the top. This is why, for me, I know we've had C-Rod and Benny. They are straight downhill. You're going to always get 2 to 3 yards. But I'm just going to show you something that maybe a Boone Williams, maybe a A.J. Rose, a running back that's patient into the hole, explode out, that's under control, can do. All right. This old line has this thing hemmed up. All right. Now, usually when a running back sees color, beep, 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 that's color. What are my options? What's my escape route? Me as a running back, when I was in high school, 150 pounds, I'm not running my ass up in here because I'm not. I'm too small. So what I would do is jump cut and go that way. Okay. Now, just imagine I see color. I'm going to go away from color. I'm going to go that way. That's been nitpicky. I'm just saying. But when you got that kind of ability, but see what I'm saying? See, it's easy to see it from this angle. See, that's where y'all get wrong. We are so used to these just bell call running backs. No. You know who's one of the most underrated running backs in UK history is Boone Williams. You need somebody who can be a home run hitter. You need some home run hitters. You need some master plays. This is why I said this on that view, right? Look at this view. Running back. See color. Stick that foot in the ground like he is, and I'm going that way. I'm not saying anything crazy. See color, foot in the ground, you cut that way. And that's a touchdown. And here's the thing. We don't need, for me, you can have a short yardage back if you want. But if you got dynamic backs like Gibbs and Junkins and Tank, what's the guy, Devin Chain for Texas A&M, where they can blow the top off the roof. That's what I want. Micah, the problem with Ramon is he gonna be able to play an extra year? Are they gonna give him that extra year? I'm not sure. I mean, he might be done. I think he's done. I don't know if they're gonna give him an extra year. I think they should because, the kid did nothing when he got a game. I don't know. JD, I think it's here what it is, JD. And this is taught by all good running back coaches. Is that they said the verbiage is different, but my coach in high school coach, how much Juice Williams had 10,000 yards rushing in high school. He coached him a 9. It's control into the hole, explode out the hole. And the reason why you control in the hole, because then it makes your reads easier. You can cut easier when you're under control. That don't mean go half-ass, but C-Rod is 100 all the time. And so it's hard to put on those deceleration brakes. So I don't think he likes contact, and I don't think it's vision. Because I've seen him in instances have great vision when he's under control. So you might go into the hole 80% of your full speed, which is good enough as an elite running back. Once you hit the hole, now you get into your 90%. And now when you break free, now you get into your 100. So if you look at it from here, C-Rod is only looking straight ahead. So I guess it can be a little vision. He doesn't scan. But right here, there is 1-2 yards in front of him. That's an easy cut here. And I guarantee you, if he makes that cut, it's a touchdown. But that's just me being nitpicky, though. Because that's still a great run. It gets us in first and goal. And this is what happens because I'm going to show you how this is a touchdown. And this is how players get coaches fired. All right. This play comes down to simple dingle. Now, honestly, I know base is hurt. If I'm going 12 personnel and I'm running, dingle is not there. Where's his brother? Is his brother hurt? Because he was supposed to be fullback and H-back. If he doesn't get pushed in the backfield, okay? He doesn't get pushed in the backfield. Watch this. All right. If he doesn't get pushed in the backfield and Manning is able to come and wrap this, your 2-year-old kid could score this touchdown. Watch. If Manning doesn't run into Dingle, right there, Manning runs into Dingle. There's only one guy out there. Guess who would have blocked that guy who makes this tackle? That would have been Manning. Just want you to see it. If you run it properly, it's a fucking touchdown. If Manning is able to come here, it's a touchdown. So some people, and it's rightfully so, because no one's ever heard me say Scangarello is the best DC ever. No one's ever heard me say Liam Cohen is the best DC ever. No one's ever heard me say anything except maybe Brad White might be the best DC in the SEC. All right. Red zone offense is all dictated by these guys up here. Because I'm going to tell you, when I'm here or here, I'm trying. You ain't going to get shit on me. Because I only have to guard that much of real estate. Honestly, if you play your technique properly and make them throw the fade, it's real easy. Compared to when your ass on the 50-yard line, them MFers can run anywhere on the field. There's not many places to hide in the red zone. So the red zone is typically dictated by these guys even more. So our failure in the red zone this year has everything to do with these guys. Period. When you have to do this, when you have to throw that pass in the red zone on second and goal, means you don't trust that front. Now that's a great pass and a great catch. Now here's the difference. Remember in the Georgia game? Man, AJ, you don't have to do that to me. Don't do that to me. In this game, Will gave the receiver a chance. In the Georgia game, he threw the damn ball out of bounds. That's the difference. Man to man. Man to man, I'm just telling you, I just said it a second ago. Man to man, make them throw the fade route. Because here's the deal. I'm automatically beaten off top because I'm trying to protect everything this way. So off of just natural alignment, you got the outside to yourself. You gotta make a great throw and catch. I'm just not gonna let you dart a damn slant on me and have that be a touchdown. Now here, I saw this live, and then when I broke this down the day after the game, I'm like, wow. Remember the Vandy game? All the double moves he got caught on? Watch his eye discipline. Watch him hitch. Watch him. See that right there? See how he stopped? Maybe playing fast motion, you can see it. Right there, saw how he kind of hesitated? He drove, and then he kind of hitched, and then he went again. That's a good tackle. Fans don't like that. That's good defense. You can't cover every zone. I'm just trying to see some again. I'm trying to see. What I'm looking at is what's stopping Dingle for coming hard, because you know it's a run. Look, this was Deion Walker's best game. And he's had some good games, but his motor, his conditioning is getting there. And for a freshman to still have his legs this late in the season, this is the advantage, boys and girls, of running a wide zone. You stretching the hell out of that defense, and now you're able to pick wherever hole you want. That's the advantage of the wide zone, or the stretch play. I remember this. This is perfection again from Wright. He's done this all year. Now I want you to see this. This guy runs an arrow route, okay? He doesn't bite on it quickly, because what happens now, it opens up that window, how I've been preaching all year. Instead, he sees it and he continues to get depth, because if there's somebody in front of you, there's probably somebody behind you. Okay? So he gets depth. Watch his head turn around right there. See how now he's like, oh shit, let me get depth. All right. Y'all funny. I'm gonna have to create one of those Van Gogh cards. What can it be on it? Eye discipline, field replays. Those are 2. Getting depth. I'm gonna have to get that Van Gogh card going. All right. Now he's off the screen. Watch this. Y'all MF, I like that one too. Yeah. Do your job. Like that one. Dep, hear me. Man, y'all are good. Hear me out. That's a good one. I don't realize I say that a lot, but now that you write it, step up in the pocket. JD. Guys on scholarship is something that saved my career. Molly Wop is actually Anthony's word. I stole that from him. Guys on scholarship. I know I've told this story before. When I played high school ball, I played a little 2A school. Light in the ass, that's a good one. Play a little 2A school. And Louisiana the local paper does a super dozen, and super dozen is the 12 best players in the state. So I made the second dozen, which is pretty crazy for a small school guy. I think you got it 100% done, JD. So in high school, no one ever beat me in man coverage or anything. I picked off Peyton Manning. Cooper tried to run a comeback route. Ain't happening. So I can't remember how many interceptions I had. I think I had like 10 interceptions my senior year, and I wasn't 100% on the on defense. I would play safety. I would play corner. I would play linebacker, which was kind of nickel. We really wasn't inside linebacker, but I played nickel a little bit. And I felt like no one. That's not felt like. I knew to the core of my belief when I got to college, ain't nobody beat me. Well, I was proven wrong during fall camp. They called me burnt toast because I went against all the best receivers and them MFers toasted my ass. And I was getting pissed. I'm like, how the hell? I come here with decent fundamentals, decent technique. And why these MFers are beating me like this? And Coach Smith pulled me aside and said, son, in his southern drawl, you know them other guys over there on scholarship too. I'm like, damn, coach, you right. Not only are they on scholarship, they are, and when I went to college, I was 17. I didn't turn 18 until November. I'm a 17-year-old trying to go against these 22-year-olds who've been in this damn system for 5 years. It makes a fucking difference. So yes, those other guys on scholarship too rings home to me all the time. So this ball is thrown. Jordan Wright is just getting in the picture, which means he's way back, because for him to be 5 yards away from him coming forward means he was coming. He never breaks down, close the gap, great tackle. And look at that. See, this is what I want kids to understand. Yes, you want to make a form tackle, but that's in a vacuum. It ain't a vacuum when that guy got that ball. All you want to do is grab cloth and get his ass down. Bam. That's a no-yard gain. That's crazy. That is crazy. Rick Smith has a square. So we're down to 3, Jeff. So a 1-yard gain on that play. If you harken back to 2021 Mississippi State game, they got 20 on that, at least 10. Mikey Benson had that same mindset to line up in front of Deacon Lions. Yeah. Man. It ain't nothing. This is, I've said this recently, I know on here. And I tell high school kids, I've been saying this for a minute. I'm like, y'all got to understand that when y'all play high school football and you are that dude, you are the best. Either you're the best player on the field or you one of 3 of the best players on the field. And in the class I played with, I played in a low class. Now, when you go to 5A, the big schools, there's more guys on the field, but there ain't that many more. So I had them understand, you are the best player on the field at your high school the majority of the time. Okay? When you go to college, all your teammates was you in high school. All your teammates in high school, they were the best player or one of the 3 best players on the field in high school. So now you just can't out-athlete someone like you do in high school. And when you play an opponent, That guy across from you was you in high school and might be a couple years older. So you can't, he's seen everything that you have seen and might have seen more if he's older. So you just can't out athlete the majority of us. Now you got your Jadeveon Clowneys and these 5-star freak athletes. Some of them can, but the vast majority of us can't. That other guy on that side of the field, the guy whose desk is next to you in your film room, was you in high school. It's a collection. It's a compilation. It's a collaboration of talent. Boy, y'all got me down. Y'all got me nailed down. Man, this defense is pretty when it works. And here's the crazy part about it. All year, not all year, for years, people complain about we're not aggressive. We don't send blitzes. We don't rush enough. I think we brought 6 once. This is a 3-man rush. When the defensive backs and the linebackers do their job, you got to pull it down. That's a good one too, CC. Now this one, Derek Jackson, you can't tell because I don't have all 22 view, but he needs to be closer to that. Now see, now this is good vision by C-Rod. Following Manning, seeing a crease, getting upfield. That's nice. Ain't nothing like being 2nd and 1, man. Now, they remember the early one where they brought the guy in the A-gap and I said C-Rod could have ran another way? Watch this. They commit so much and we still able to block it. We finally realized our protocols, our mechanisms. Because when this guy comes, Flax does a great job, block down, to get us something. Look at that. Dingle comes across. You can't block everybody. You can't block everybody. We do a damn good job. That is nice. With them committing so much to the box, we still get 4 yards. Can't block everybody. Linebacker does a great job of filling. Still 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. Uh-oh. Another damn screen. How many fucking screen passes are we gonna run? I'm sick of running these screen passes. But when you execute, it's there. Because here's the thing. You want to get the ball to your playmakers in space. That's what Tennessee does. How many damn screens they run? Get that guy out in space. You get a good block. You get 3 to 5 yards. When I saw this earlier, C-Rod's done well this year. I thought this was to the house. I thought it was to the house when I saw it live. But not quite. But when you just drill them and drill them and drill them, look how that's pretty damn good blocking. That's pretty good blocking. There's nothing wrong with 7 yards on first. That's winning, man. That's super winning. Back to back. Look at this. When it's good, man, it's good. And this is what play design helps. All right. I think it's better for the end zone. I'll show it for the end zone. Just remember Barry Brown coming across. All right. Barry Brown influences this guy. Okay. Watch. He's got to respect Barry Brown. See how he expands right there? And now running back's coming right here. It's great play design. And great execution. Now we just got to punch it in instead of kicking field goals. That's me being nitpicky because a win's a win. Here, now, C-Rod. Get what you can. That's too much penetration. Ooh, another screen. Oh my goodness. Look at him out in space. Man, and get him some. That's nice, man. You get a first down on 2nd and 14. This is so close. This is their linebacker making a play. Watch if this guy doesn't get there. There's nobody out there. He shoots the gap and makes a shoestring tackle. If he doesn't, and C-Rod doesn't stumble with Burton right here, dude, he might still be running. Again, 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends. We ran primarily at least 2 tights. They tried it, and if we can stay on this block, is even more. Watch. That's just taking a team's will. If Dingle could stay on that block with Manning coming and wrapping and pulling. Now C-Rod, here's that C-Rod could run away from that guy and not have to run to him. And 7 didn't want none of that smoke anyway, to be honest with you. Now this is just a fucking great play. You can't, when they bring so much, now maybe, but the bad part about it, the best thing you run is pin and pull. Maybe you don't call pin and pull. Maybe you run something a little quicker action, but he's unaccounted for. You can't block him. Yeah, Dingle, he ain't the only one. Yager has that problem too with ducking his head when he's blocking. Gotta have contain. This is a great read by. No, this is a different play. We got to make the tackle. Not bad. I'm thinking of another series. That's great penetration. So close. 3rd and 1, when you lose on 1st and 2nd down, you have no right to win on 3rd. Now, this is perfect play design, but it's defense. Because what happens is They run this wheel route and it vacates that linebacker. So now there's nobody else out there. Because linebacker here, nickelback here, and your other linebacker has to respect the wheel route. Now they just got you out leverage. They just flooded that side. And you got to tip your cap. They just got you. Watch Key. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did some research on Key in college at Ole Miss. I'm like, okay, he's solid. I'm gonna say this: we're gonna miss him possibly more than we missed Boss Man when he left. He's just so damn solid. Look at that time. He's just so solid. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. And it's going to be replacing somebody who is dependable is the hardest person to replace. To replace someone who's 100% dependable is hard to replace. Sometimes, and I'm big on being a playmaker, but sometimes you need dependability more than playmaking. And he was unbelievable. We called a corner blitz and we got on that. Sometimes they just get you. This guy is unbelievably solid. CC, I have no idea. Let me find. No, man, he's better than Eccles. Don't get me on the Eccles guy. I wasn't a big fan of Eccles in college. He's done much better on the next level than he did here. When a guy only has one interception in his 2 years here, with the way teams throw the ball, is unacceptable in my book. So he's better than Eccles in college. Don't know what he's gonna pan out to be on the next level, but nah. And Eccles went what? Eccles got drafted pretty high, didn't he? What round did Eccles go? Did he go third or did he go later than that? I'm going to my Bible of NFL draft. I can't believe these guys got. I'm a big Emmanuel Forbes guy, and he is low on the pole. I'm trying to see is he even in the top 20. Not in the top 20. Man. Guess I don't watch enough football. He's not in the top 30. So I would say if he's not in the top 30, he's probably undrafted. Whoa. Are you serious? Forbes. AJ, Forbes wasn't up for Thorpe? Get the fuck out of here. How many pick sixes does Forbes have? 3 or 4? Come on, man. Oh, I didn't finish this play. This is I'm telling you, man, we are going to miss this kid so much. That is so solid. There's a lot of corners nowadays don't want that smoke. Pow! Dude, that shit. Now we got to get off the field. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Now, we saw the pass that Trevor Wallace picked off. Right? And eyes on quarterback. Okay, those are 3 finalists. I know the Witherspoon kid is pretty good. I heard the Thomason kid is good. I just haven't noticed it. I don't know that Utah kid. All right. So now watch the difference between Wallace on the pick play and right now. 6 picks this year, 2 went to the crib. That's Forbes. I thought he had 3 to the crib. 6 picks, 2 to the Krizak. That's worthy of thought. I bet none of them other guys has 2 house calls. So watch Wallace's eyes. He goes straight to the receiver. And watch about midway, he pauses. About right there. If he would have read quarterback, he would have took him to the ball. That's why eye discipline is so important. So on 4th and 3, they got a first down. Not saying he would have got there. Yeah. So see, watch his eyes. You see the back of his helmet the whole time. He's looking at the receiver instead of being able to run to it and then possibly get a hand on it. Forbes is coming out. There's no way I'm Forbes and I'm coming back to college. There's no way in hell. No way. AJ, there's no way. What else can I prove? With his size, now he's not thick, but with his size, there's no way I'll come back. Watch this. This is a DB, a corner, trying to do too much. Now, all game, he's been playing double move. He's in good shape right now. He's in great shape right now. Why you look at the quarterback? Now, watch. This is why you drive your first 2 steps on the receiver. Okay? Here is why. Understand this. He's in good shape. If he drove on the receiver, he would have been closer to the receiver right now. See how much space is between him and number 8? If he would have drove on the receiver, he would be more right here. Here's the crazy part about it. On the intro of Watching with Styles, there's an interception against Louisville. I had to jump over his shoulder because I didn't want him to run a hitch and go. So I drove to the middle of his back, and at the last moment I peeked and I saw the ball wasn't thrown. I had a chance to do this. See, everybody wants to run out in front and then go to the house. Sometimes house calls are not house calls. House calls are very special. We on the what's that line? We're on the party line where anybody can answer and anybody can pick up. There's only a certain time, certain part of the game, certain time of day where you can pick up that phone. Ain't nobody on the other line. You can talk to your girlfriend, say whatever you want to say. That's only a certain amount of times where you get that freedom. This ain't the time. He was fine, and now he got beat because of the separation. See, in college, if he's here, he can chuck the hell out of him, push him, and then recover. But since he's trying to do too much, now he's done. But if he would have drove with discipline, drove the receiver first, and then you take a peek, you drive the receiver. Let's see what he stops. 1, 2, he's driving the receiver, so he would have been right here. And as you driving, you take a quick peek. Ball's not in the air. Oh, boom, chuck him. Then you follow. You're trying to do too much, and now you're behind. And now a great fucking catch, though. Can't do that. It's 4th quarter. You up 26-7. Just play ball. Just play ball. Now we're gonna take their wheel for a few plays. When this line is able to fire off the ball, they're a little better. And C-Rod just does what C-Rod does. But okay, maybe you can. That's all you want from your receiver. That's all you want. You ain't got to annihilate them. Just that. Just be a willing participant in the run game and blocking. That's just nice. That's just good stuff. I'll pulling guard fall. Sometimes the tight end gets in his way. It's a cluster sometimes. I think that's Quentin Wilson. Which to me, look at Big Manny. Which to me is interesting. Is can Quentin Wilson not play center? Because I thought that's what he was supposed to be. And if he can play center, we can put guys in the right spot. This is all on right. He's got curl flat. His drop is absolutely horrible. Right? Reason why. Here's the bad part about it. Someone with that length, look how close he is to Lovett. They're too close together. They got to get more spacing. It's not on the corner. That's on the linebacker. This is where Wallace got to get more discipline in his technique. Obviously, they hold. This game is almost over, as you guys know. And that was another hole. I don't think they called that hole. Watch this hole. Watch that. He's out over his skis. Their offensive tackle. Watch this. And is he not watching that? But they held a lot. They got away with stuff. But doesn't matter. Come make the tackle. Good. We still only bringing 4. Getting a little pressure. That's on right again. That's your. What are you reading? Because you don't have the hook. Or you might have the hook. Now that I see that again, you might have the hook. Keep pounding their ass. Make them tick, 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 tick. Now they start getting a little bit. Oops, we got to do something. And that's another great play by Childress. For him to come out of center field means his eye discipline was immaculate. Look at that. He's coming from center field. Great catch by Lovett. So Lovett's got 2 interceptions. Both of them were garden variety, easy pickings. Just got to damn tuck that ball. Don't want to Marty Moore it and lose a game. I know we can't lose it here. But very interesting year. Very interesting. I said this on the locker prior to this show. I really think the football guys didn't want us to get these 9 or 10 wins. Because, like I said, even with all the shit surrounding this team, we're complaining about the OC, with C-Rod missing 4 games, with Will Levis having turf toe, and turf toe is a bitch, y'all. Will Levis missing a game. Offensive coordinator fans don't like. We got offensive linemen playing out of position. We switching positions the week before the game. Buford was supposed to be the left tackle, and all of a sudden now Horsey the left tackle. All this stuff. 2 penalties away from being 9-3. Kind of crazy that this program could have been 9-3 with people saying the offense that doesn't score 25 points. Because this game can be more than about lighting up the scoreboard. It's about playing a team game, complementary football. The thing about playing this team game, if every facet of the game does their part, you can play this way. If we do special teams in Ole Miss, we probably win that game. Because all we need is a field goal at the end. All phases. The offense complements the defense. The offense complements the defense by minimizing the amount of time the defense is on the field. The reason why our defense only gave up X amount of points is because they were not on the field enough times for the other opponent to have law of averages to score points. When you have a tempo team, i.e. Tennessee, your ass go to South Carolina, they hang up 60 points on your ass. You play Alabama home, they hang, 50 points on your ass. There's a reason why complementary football is important. You don't put stress on your defense. And if you don't put stress on your defense, you don't put stress on your offense. I know people don't like winning 23-13, but 23-13 is a fucking win. It's the same win, 26-13, the same win as 45-40. It's a W. We trying to get style points now. The same way we trying to get style points in recruiting. I don't give a damn about style points. I want to win 9 or 10 games. And now we have gotten so privileged and so fat that we can't appreciate all the stuff this team went through to get to 7-5. Because now our heart's broken. We had crazy expectations. And then we got to hear people from the outside saying, we told you so, that you aren't going to win. Who cares? As the great quote says, that a ship doesn't sink because of the outside water. The ship sinks because of water that comes inside. And some of our fans be bringing water on that damn boat and be trying to damn sink the boat because they're miserable. And now some of us faithful have to fucking throw water out the boat because of some of these fans who are miserable. It'll be great if we can keep building the boat and make it bigger and better and faster, instead of wasting some time on dumping the negative water out the damn ship. That's all I gotta say. Thank you guys and girls. I appreciate y'all hanging with me for the regular season. These 12 glorious games with 7 amazing wins. I will see y'all hopefully in January. Hopefully we get one of these bowl games, that Music City Bowl at worst. Let's see what happens in Music City Bowl. I will potentially fly up there. I won't step foot in the stadium, but at least I can show my face maybe. And after that, then I'll see you guys next year, I guess. Y'all been troopers, man. When I changed this thing to nighttime, y'all been troopers. This is the permanent time because I get great interaction. Instead of doing it in the middle of the day, I get great interaction. I love talking football with you guys. So this is the permanent time from here on out. Hope you guys have a good day, good night, good day. I guess, day for good morning for most of y'all. And I'll see y'all next time.
116 left play of the game.